What's the worst that can happen if you throw a dart at the world map and commit to go wherever it lands, no matter how far, poor, or dangerous it is? In Madagascar, plenty could happen. What you need to know is that Madagascar is not just about the Lemur Island, colorful chameleons, or an animated movie. It's so much more, and it's serious. Stick around, because this is an episode like I've never done before. My name is Sorin. I throw darts at the world map and go wherever they land. When I threw that dart, I was in the crazy Galapagos Islands. For the first time ever, I hit Africa for travel by dart. I hit Madagascar, and here I am, just landed. I'm so actually excited to see it. Now, people, when they see Madagascar, most of them think of the animation movie that was made, created a lot of benefits for this country. However, people do not know that Madagascar is the fourth poorest country in the world. But just like in every other country, if you find the right people, you can actually have a vacation of a lifetime. We're staying at Meva guest house, which is kind of a cool, somehow colonial house, very rustic, and the staff here is amazing, very, very friendly. I met some incredible people here. I partner up with Remote Rivers Expeditions. I met Ludo and Gary, and we're just starting the episode here. I cannot be more excited about it.
The concept of travel by dart is really amazing, throwing dart and go wherever the place the dart's pointed. So this is like a challenge. So we really want to help Sorin on this project.
In Madagascar, they speak Malagasy, and they are called Malagasy people. The capital of Madagascar is Antananarivo, which is quite a long name, but they call it Tana. Tana is crazy. I got here, and man, on the way to the guest house, I've seen hundreds of thousands of people just, tied together.
Antananarivo, it means the city of 1,000 men. It comes from the Queen Antsirabe. To the north is 1,000 soldiers.
I also met one of the newest and hottest stars in Madagascar, a singer called Romina. She had a couple of big songs here, and it was cool to meet her, become friends, and I wish her all the best with her career. But I also asked her some guidance about the country, maybe to tell me something that Ludo doesn't know. So maybe she could share some thoughts on even the capital city.
Je trouve que Tana est c'est comme toutes les grandes villes, avec les embouteillages, un peu de pollution. Pour moi, j'ai grandi à Tana et j'aime Tana.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna get on an adventure with a super cool 4x4 truck with Ludo and his team from Remote Rivers Expeditions, and we're ready to share with you the beauty of this country. Ludo said that Madagascar is the country of superstitions. I will do here. I cannot disclose right now what's going to happen, but he told me a few things that they're going to blow your mind, and I'm actually very, very excited, but at the same time a little scared.
Antsirabe is one of prosperous town in Madagascar, where lots of industries there, and cooler place also, productive. It provides most of vegetables that we are going to eat all around our trip in Madagascar.
One of the most popular methods of transportation in Madagascar is the rickshaw, which is like the taxi, the Uber, whatever you want to call it. But they call it Pousse-Pousse, which is an interesting name, but I could not miss it. We are in Antsirabe, the second town of our tour. So what happens with these Pousse-Pousse drivers? They do not own the rickshaws. What they do, they pay 6,000 ariaris, which is about $2, to a boss, and then they have to make per day over 6,000 ariares. So what they do, they charge about 25 cents per ride. So what they have to do is basically make over $3 a day, and then they start making money, which is crazy. For a country that offers its people a minimum salary income of only $50, Madagascar has a lot of potential that unfortunately is not translated into a great economy. So they have hundreds of mines here: sapphire mines, gold mines, black sand mines, quartz mines, where hundreds of thousands of Malagasy people, the local people, work for less than $1 a day. So what does one have to do for less than $1 a day? I decided to do that myself to see how it is. So what happens, all these people, they go and collect all these rocks that, eventually have some gold in them. And they bring it from over these hills into little holes right here where they actually match them, and until it gets like a sand kind of thing. And then they get the sand, and from the sand they go to the river and takes it through the sieve. So if they find any gold, they go and sell it. If not, they start over the next day. So at the end of the work, basically the whole gold that the family got that day, we put it into a plate and gave it to the boss, who actually pays these workers. It's not like people sell their gold because it's their gold. They also work for someone who comes, collects it, like this young kid came to me and collected the gold. So they work for someone. They do not work for themselves. That's the crazy part. We gave him the plate of gold. I think Ludo said was around 200,000 ariares, which is about worth of $60, which is a lot if you think about it.
Unfortunately, it was so sad to say that, okay, these little girls and little boys helped us during the mining. They don't go to school.
The average number of children in Madagascar
Per family.
is 8. This is crazy. They start very young. A girl could have a child even at the age of 13. So it's not uncommon. There's a lot of cases where some girls become grandmothers at 26.
These kids will be their assurance policy when they are retired. They will have someone to stay. So this is then the cycle of life in a place like those.
From the mine, we went to Morondava. We got there very late at night, but I was so excited because in the morning, we had to go to the coolest place in Madagascar, the Avenue of Baobabs. This is the most popular landmark of Madagascar, the Avenue of Baobabs, which is an area that has about 800 hectares and about 800 trees, 800 baobabs, all ranging from 3 years old to a 600-year-old baobab. It is so cool that I've decided to do the dart throwing ceremony right here. The drive here was just incredible. 8 hours, full of dust, red dust. I had dust in private parts, but it's the risk I've taken when I did this itinerary. I don't care if I have to get hurt to a certain degree, but I just want to experience Madagascar. So this drive was full of adventure, and then we kind of caravanned it here to Bekopaka. You saw all those kids that all they wanted was not money. They wanted empty bottles, like plastic bottles, because they collect food, honey, and all these things that you wouldn't even think. And every time somebody gives them an empty bottle, to them is like they score a goal. They happy, they jump around. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like this, not even in the movies.
Tsingy de Bemaraha is one big park, World Heritage Site. We call also it stone forest. It is a plateau of calcaires with pinnacle. That's why we call it stone forest. It's not just a block of stone that we are going to discover there, but there is also natural, historical, and including the variety of flora and fauna inside itself. There is 2 or 3 categories of forest.
So the reason for all these layers is that over the last 50 million years, yeah, I said it right, 50 million years, here there's water. So the water would go up and then would go back and leaving, of course, over time, a new set of layers. So that's why as the water got back and then the rain did the job, so this was one layer. And then millions of years after, then there's another layer, and then there's another layer. So this is why now we see 3, 4, 5, 6 different layers that actually formed like this over the last 50 million. Today I lost probably 10 pounds, so I'm happy I did it, and I want to keep walking so I have nothing left on me. Tsingy means tiptoeing and Bemaraha means sharpness, so it's basically tiptoeing on sharpness. And the whole experience takes about 4 hours from the bottom of the hill all the way to the top, to the 2 viewpoints. And I could really feel the beers I had last night with the boys. Water has never tasted so good. If you're ever in Madagascar, make a priority to come to Tsingy de Bemaraha.
Tsingy de Bemaraha was incredibly exhausting. I like to think that I like sports and I'm prepared, but that kind of killed me. So we decided to have a very good rest at this oasis in the middle of Morondava at Chameleons, which is also owned by Gary at the Remote River Expeditions. Gary it's such a character. This guy came here to Madagascar in like 1984 or something, and he decided to stay and has a crazy story that even if I tell it to you, it doesn't sound as good as it does when he says it. And over the years, Chameleons has been a hotel where a bunch of celebrities came. It has a pool. It has a different setting than what you see in Morondava and the rest of Madagascar. So we really, all of us, including my cameraman, we went there and stayed with Gary, spent a great night together, and had an amazing time at Chameleons.
The Malagasy people, for my feeling, are the most sensitive and caring people I've ever run into. Boy, people know, oh, Madagascar are lemurs. The incredible diversity from north to south and east to west. And the same thing here. You can go rafting in the morning, kite surfing on the Mozambique Channel. The diversity, the people, the music, fantastic.
In every episode of Travel by Dart, I'm trying to immerse myself in the culture as much as I can. And what we did so far was took a little boat, like a sailboat made out of wood and a big piece of cloth, and we are about to go to a healer, like a medium. But what's interesting about this healer is that he's gonna invoke the spirit, and there's gonna be more people over there, and he will ask the spirit to choose any of us. And if that happens to be me, then it will stick with me forever. That's what they said anyway. And the spirit apparently comes from people who are dead or the ones that are wandering around. And it's kind of scary to say the least, but I'm actually interested to do it. So see how it goes.
when the spirit comes, the person have a servant. The servant who transmitted the message is what people want to do to the spirit, because she is the only one that the spirit knows her voice. So she transmitted the messages from what we want to do to the spirit, and the spirit execute what the people in the village want. Personally, I didn't want to continue until the end, but Sorin was there, so I support him. He wanted to see the culture of Malagasy, so I stayed until the end. Proud of me.
What was about to come was the highlight of my whole trip to Madagascar, a trip to the national park to see the lemurs and the chameleons.
Il y en a beaucoup de chance aujourd'hui, là. Les Lemurs ne sont pas faits. The Indri in Madagascar is very easy only to see here in Andasibe. In Andasibe is 12 species the lemurs, 6 active in the day and 6 active in the night.
They are as small as a mice. I thought they're mice, but they're actually lemurs.
And for the special for this forest is the Indri-Indri, but in the park is a 62 family, the Indri-Indri, 62. But it's one group is small families a 2 and big families a 6. Yes, it's normal is for a east in Madagascar, there's a lot of the Indri. It's very easy only in the park Andasibe. The Indri is the biggest lemurs of Madagascar, and the size is 1 meter. Yes, and the very biggest lemurs of Madagascar. And the lemurs is no tail. The short tail is 3 centimeters. And monogam species, but not polygamy, monogamy. Yes, 1 male, 1 female. And the Indri is a 4 different call. Communication call, like that. You keep the territorially, and another one is alarm call, like that. If you want the enemy, like a fusa, like a bird, is to make alarm call. And another one is a love call. If you want the meeting season in October, November, is to make a love call, like that, like a big kiss. And another one is a baby call. This baby call is like that, like that. After, if you coming down the Indri, I have this special place to make a toilet. Really special place to make a toilet. After coming down very close, 1 meter, 2 meters, like that. And sometimes visiting the young leaves is coming in the down. And sometimes visiting the toxic plant is coming in the ground. But it's very, very rare it's coming in the ground.
On the famous Lemur Island, there are only 25 lemurs. I think we saw about 12, 14 of them, and I had 3 of them on me, and it was awesome to see them fed on my own hand here. And it was very, very interesting to see them, how they're curious about what we're doing. And this completes my day. It was incredible. Love it. Chameleons live 20 or 40 years old, depend how big they are. It also depends if they are in a farm or not. They live longer if they live in their natural habitat. And also another interesting thing was that they change the color.
When people also look at chameleons, hear about chameleons, they think that chameleon can change color at any time they want, but not. They actually change color through their moods.
So if they're scared or stressed, they get darker. If they're ill, they get yellowish. And if they're happy and healthy, they're very colorful. I decided to come back with my team to one of the most majestic places in Madagascar, the Avenue of Baobabs. So today, I'm gonna throw another dart at the world map blindfolded and make that destination the home of one of the future Travel by Dart episodes. And with that, let's do it. Oh! South America, this is Colombia. Oh my God.
During the trip, I couldn't imagine how would it feel when we saw him go on the card with the big map and set it in the middle of the avenue and took his blindfolded and throw his dart and landed to Colombia. Then it was like, wow.
To me, Colombia has been, I would say, probably top 10 countries I've ever wanted to see for so many reasons. And I'm so glad I actually hit it. It's incredible. I speak Spanish too. And I promise you that I'm going to show you stuff you've never seen anywhere else. That's a promise.